In this video, we're going to talk about the 5 things you should be doing when purchasing your first home. One of my favorite quotes, which links into the world of buying and selling real estate so well, is by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. Keep that quote from Benjamin Franklin in mind as we go through this video. My name is Macallum, and I'm a real estate team leader specializing in the city of Toronto. And my team and I work with first-time buyers every single day. So these 5 things are what we know are actually going to help. And if you'd like to book a one-on-one meeting with me to chat further about buying your first home, you can go to the first link in the description of this video, which will bring you to a scheduling platform where you can select a time that works best for you. The first and arguably the most important thing a first-time buyer should be doing when they're purchasing their first property is making sure that they're getting pre-approved for a mortgage. Believe it or not, but we actually do hear buyers, not just first-time buyers, telling us that everything is all good on the mortgage side of things. Then the buyer goes out to tour a number of properties. They find their dream property that they'd like to purchase. Then they talk to their bank, and their bank informs them that the purchase price will not be possible based on their finances. One of the worst feelings when in the process of purchasing, whether it's your first home or another one, is falling in love with a property only to be told that it's not financially feasible. Obtaining a pre-approval is, like I said, arguably the most important thing a first-time buyer is going to do, but it's actually also the easiest step in the process. All the buyer needs to do is walk into their bank, or we set you up with our mortgage brokers, and then the buyer provides the documents that the mortgage broker and or their bank requires from them. Then they wait for an answer. It's that simple. And once the answer is provided, the buyer now knows their exact budget instead of guessing. We actually rarely show properties to clients, especially first-time buyers, who are not pre-approved for a mortgage because we could be showing a $900,000 condo, but in reality, the client may only be able to afford up to $750,000, but no one knows that yet. The process of obtaining a pre-approval is so incredibly easy and sets you up for success from the start. The second thing you should be doing as a first-time buyer is evaluating your comfort levels. We often see clients receive a pre-approval and automatically spend to their maximum budget because they've been approved to do so. But it's also important to differentiate between maximum mortgage and comfortable mortgage. At the end of the day, this one is all based on personal preferences, but it's super important that you're comfortable with the amount of mortgage you're taking on. And this is also where the mortgage broker can assist you, because not only are they there to source the best mortgage product for you, but they're also there to help you analyze your finances so that you can feel comfortable and confident with the purchase you're making. And remember, our job as your real estate agent is not to help you purchase the most expensive property possible. It's to help you purchase the right property for you at the lowest price. The third thing you should be doing when purchasing your first property is selecting a real estate agent, but not just any real estate agent or the first real estate agent you connect with. Rather, an agent who you're comfortable working with, who you trust, and who you know is always going to have your best interests in mind. And I think I just read a stat the other week that said there are a little over 90,000 real estate agents in Ontario. And not every agent provides the same level of service to their clients, of course. Whenever potential clients approach us for help with their real estate needs, especially a first-time buyer, we always set up a buyer consultation over Zoom. During this buyer consultation, we understand the buyer's criteria a lot better so that we can send them properties that would actually be of most interest to them on the MLS, but also exclusively listed. Like I said in the first couple sentences of this video, by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. So during this buyer consultation that we always have, we make sure that we help our potential clients understand what's happening in the specific market of interest. We educate them on the buying process, talk about status certificates, reserve funds, maintenance fees, condos to stay away from, and so much more. Following our buyer consultation, the client has a full 360-degree understanding of what's going to happen while they're actually purchasing or in the process of purchasing their home. It's very important to us that our client is completely educated and prepared for what's going to happen next. I'm actually going to link another video which I created called How to Buy a Condo, the Ultimate Guide, which is a 45-minute in-depth video about purchasing a condo in our buyer consultation. So I'd highly recommend you check that out for a ton of valuable information. The fourth thing all buyers should be doing is actually pretty simplistic, but it's asking their real estate agent about the value of a home of interest before taking the time to tour it and investigating it further. Like I mentioned a little earlier in this video, it's important to know your budget, but it's also important to know what the property is going to sell for or what the property's estimated market value may be before touring the home, because you don't want to tour properties that are going to sell or have a high likelihood of selling beyond your budget. So ask your agent for an estimated value of the property before you tour. That way, you can have a full understanding of the value and determine if it's actually a property you want to see. Not as much in a balanced market, but in a seller's market, we often see properties being listed for artificially low or lower than what the fair market value is for the property in order to generate as much interest as possible. And in some cases, the property could be listed for $699,000, but in reality, it's worth $875,000. So your agent should be able to tell you what the estimated value of the property is before you see it, because the property may actually be outside of your budget. The fifth and final thing you're going to want to do as a first-time buyer is to actually spend time in the home when you're touring it. Now, this may sound so incredibly simplistic and truthfully obvious, but you'd be surprised at how many people are only in the home they end up purchasing for like 15 minutes. Spend time in the property to truly understand if it's a home that's going to work for you. Does the floor plan work for you? Is there wasted space? What's the natural light situation? Is there going to be a condo building developed right next door? Does it check off all the boxes? Can you see yourself living in this home? You'll actually know if the property is a good fit within 10 seconds of walking in, but once you determine it is a good fit, what you'll want to do next is stay in the property and really take in everything the property has to offer you. There you have it, 5 things to do when buying your first home. And if you want a far more in-depth video about buying your first condo, check out this video here.